Alrighty guys, today I'm going to be showing you some Town Hall 9 war attacks that resulted in 3 stars and what these people did right that you can try to model in order to get the same result. So in our war, we're actually up against a really tough opponent. They know what they're doing. They're very good with hogs. They've been devastating us with hogs the whole war, as you can see from some of our war map. They've just been crushing us with the hogs. And I'm actually considering making another video to show some of their hog raids because some of them were really nice. So I might be releasing a video on that. But a couple of the bright spots for us that I wanted to show you guys, we had a couple really nice attacks that were GWE attacks on Town Hall 9s that resulted in 3 stars. They were on the 5 guy and the 6 guy, and they were by Doodle Foodleman, our leader, and the one on the 6 guy was by Eris. So I'm going to show you both of those. The first attack, like I said, is a GWE. It's against this kind of odd base. I've never really seen this one before. It's a really square base, but Doodle starts off by getting his free picks, which I love because that's something I preach about. And then he gets those on either side. And then over here, he's going to start clearing buildings for his actual attack. He brings a couple whiz to speed up that process, and he's clearing all the surrounding structures to make sure his golems and heroes go exactly where he wants them to, so he doesn't have any merry-go-rounds. So he starts with a 3 golem setup. 2 of the golems are going to go right to the middle, and the 1 golem's going to stay over there by the cannon. And this actually ends up working out really well. I think a lot of people think in order to have a great attack, you have to have a really wide golem setup, but that's actually not the case. As long as you keep your high damage troops, like your whiz and your witches, behind those golems, pretty much any attack is going to do really well, as long as you can keep your troops doing what they're meant to do. So the golems are going to serve as a great meat shield to start. The wall breakers come in, drops a nice rage right here. The wall breakers open up that wall, he starts working his way in. One thing to mention on this raid that you don't see a lot, actually really surprised me when I first watched it. Doodle cannot lure on this raid because of how centered that CC is right there. But he also did not bring a lightning spell, which is not something you see a lot. But one thing he did great on this raid that I suggest doing for any raid that you can't get a lure like this, he brought the jump spell and he used it to get his troops into the middle to ensure he got that 2-star. At the beginning, I'm sure he was just shooting for 2. He did not know that this raid was going to turn into 3 stars. It just happened to be really well executed and turned into that for him. But one saying that I like is 3 stars are accidents. No 3-star, you know, unless you're cleaning up, most people are not... They're just aiming to make a really good attack. They don't start out thinking 3. And that's kind of what happened here. Doodle was just aiming to get that town hall down, and it ended up working out really well. His troops are funneling in. He's got 2 golems, his king, his queen. Another thing to talk about right here, that heal spell is pretty perfect. He managed to get his king, both of his golemites, his big golem, his whiz, his witches. He got them all in that heal spell. Another thing he did great with this heal spell is he led his troops. Something I see people do too often, they try to lay the heal spell smack in the center of where their troops are just to make sure they get all of them, which isn't a terrible strategy, but you really want to place the heal spell where your troops are going instead of where your troops are to make sure that you get the most out of that heal spell. As you can see right here, this heal spell is going to heal all his troops for the next 20 seconds or so, which really ends up helping him. His queen's doing damage up top. He's still got some golems. His king's going to work. He uses the cloak and the rage because both of his heroes are taking some damage. The queen's working on that wall now. The king ends up going down, but he's still got a golem. Plenty of whiz and witches left. There's whiz and witches working around this side as well. And they're going to crack through that wall, start taking down defenses. Another great thing Doodle does right here, he saves some archers and whiz for the backside. He sees that there's extra buildings over here that if he doesn't pick up in the middle part of this raid, it's probably going to cost him extra time. It could possibly cost him a 3-star. So he has some extra whiz and archers planned for those buildings. He uses some right here to get those back so that his troops don't have to go through another wall and waste even more time trying to pick up these last buildings and get this 3-star. There's only 1 cannon left at this point, and it's going to target his archer queen. He sees that that's going to go down, so as soon as that cannon gets distracted on the archer queen, he lays down all his whiz right there, takes out that cannon, and now there's nothing left. And it ends up turning into an overkill 3-star that was really well executed. So, great job to Doodle, and great raid. And on to the next one, which was by Eris. And Eris also rolled with the Go Wee Wee. He did just about the same thing, but it was a much different base. This is one of the funkier bases I've seen for a Town Hall 9. And what Eris does great about this base, and I'll show you right here, he's going to get a wide golem setup right here, which one thing that people try to do that you shouldn't is they try to go against the base. And what I mean by that is they try to have a tight golem spread in part of the bases that are really spread apart, or they try to have a spread out golems in parts of the bases that are really close together. And you don't really want to do that. I think people's thought process on that is that they're going to somehow overwhelm that part of the base by going against it, but usually that doesn't work out. The base holds pretty well, and then the attack goes south rather quickly. But as you can see here, great heal spell. Heal spell catches both of those golems and his queen, as well as some whiz and witches over here. Another part of a great raid, you know, always the spell timing and spell placement. But as you can see here, he's kind of got three parts of his attack here, and I don't know if this was by intent or it happened by accident, but what ended up happening is he's got one golem that's defending his queen and a witch right there. He's got his king over here acting as a meat shield for all those whiz and witches trailing behind him, and he's actually got two golems over here acting as meat shields for all the whiz and witches sitting right there. So he has a great setup, which is part of what helps him get this 3-star. All of his golems and bigger defensive troops are out in front so that the high damage troops can stay behind and do their thing. And he actually ends up getting really lucky right here. This is just one of those things where everything was rolling Eris's way. But as you can see, this golem is almost at no health, and he has tons of skeletons on him. Well, they kill him, and the explosion from the golem to the baby golemites actually kills every single skeleton, which really helps him because those skeletons might have distracted his queen and gotten her off the town hall and really slowed down the raid and allowed those Teslas to maybe end up preventing him from getting a 3-star. So the queen's working on this town hall. Now the whiz are coming in to help. They got skeletons out in front. Again, good defenders for the high damage troops. Great rage heal right here. The reason he does this is because he knows that he still has the troops to get a 3-star, but if he wants to get it, he has to make it quick and try to keep some health within his troops so he can finish this base off. So the troops are all enraged, they're working their way through. He's still got a big golem up. They're going to end up busting their way through that wall. And then there's really only 3 defenses left, and the golems go around, and they're going to end up targeting the golems. And so they're targeted on the golems. You have the other troops wrapping around. It's going to end up being a really nice 3-star for Eris. So great attack by Eris, and thank you for letting me use it in the video as well as Doodle. And that's what a good Town Hall 9 attack should look like. I showed you some of the keys. Basically, keep your golems out in front, have a plan, and that's about it. I mean, the rest, also good spell timing, as you saw by some of the things I pointed out. The heal placements in both of those attacks were great. The rage placements in both of those attacks were great. If you want to be able to 3-star good Town Hall 9 bases, your spells really have to be great, and you gotta come prepared. You know, you can't just come in there throwing troops around hoping that, you know, it's gonna go your way. You gotta be ready at all points. So that's about all I have to say on that. Thank you guys, and I'll probably have another video out tomorrow on something else. I haven't decided which one I'm going to do yet, whether it'll be the hog raids or if I'm going to do a series on Go Wee Wee versus Go Wipe. But I'll let you know, and thank you guys for watching.